Welcome back to the Brick Broadcast Network and the echo from the bathroom that I am streaming from today. This gives you a whole new meaning to the word streaming live. We are here in
Oh
my new
man.
apartment. I have movers literally putting things in and out of the apartment now, which is why I'm streaming from the bathroom, for those of you who may be curious. And there may be parts where I might have to duck out for a little bit and then come back. And we have so many people here in the chat. How are you doing, PT?
I'm
This is
good. I'm doing
great.
good. I had to I saw the instructions on the back of the build you did the other night, and they had this little picture
Oh,
of a hippo with
yes.
wings. I thought it was cute, so I had to build it, of course.
Oh, you
So
love doing characters. That's
I
always
do, I
great.
do. And I
Yeah.
know I know Halloween's coming, but I did a little mini land Freddy Krueger.
Oh, that's awesome. I
Uh,
have Batman here because I'm in the bathroom and the only thing I could put as a backdrop real quickly was Batman. So I brought him here. Hello,
very
people. So anyway,
and the
oh my
last
gosh,
and the
that's
last one
great.
was the 1931 Frankenstein. Is that scene where
Oh my
the sun's coming up?
gosh.
Although I colorized it, obviously, but
Uh-huh.
so that's
Wow.
those are
Wow.
adorning the house this Halloween.
No, I was gonna say, do you celebrate Halloween a lot or?
We do no, well. We just have most our Halloween decorations. They're either blow ups or they're Lego. So
So we got a lot of people here in the chat. Let's say hello to everybody here. We got Tim's Brick Adventures is in the
hey
house.
Tim,
How's it going, Tim? Looking forward to a lot of chatting going on tonight. Yes, I think people know the routine. They know Tuesday at 6 o'clock. We're here. We're having a party here. And Debo Bricks is in the house. The
hey
excitement is
Debo,
racing through the crowd. Yes, it is. Ahoy Hoy Brick Jedi is here as
hey.
well. We have Timothy C. To catch composer. Wow, looking forward to hearing from this pair. Can't wait. Yes, definitely. And then Jordan Perry is here, or I'm
Hey,
here.
how you doing, Jordan?
Yeah, Jordan's here as well. And of course, Emily. Good, Jord. And A Full After Dark. Hey, friends, how's it going? And
Ooh,
Debo Brick says, because I'm streaming from the bathroom, which
I
gives you a whole
expect
new
funny humor.
meaning
Yes.
to live streaming. Yes, we expect potty humor today. Yeah, puns are very welcome here on the Brickanista Broadcast Network. So potty humor is okay. And also, Luis wants to make sure, Emily, you know that he is here as well. And of course, she says, you better be here. And you can accomplish a lot in the bathroom. And just for those of you who just joined, the reason why I'm streaming from the bathroom today is I thought I had scheduled the movers yesterday so that I would be free and clear today. And no, I botched that. So they are here today because I have to be out of my other apartment today. So after this is over, I'll be returning the U-Haul, going back to my other place, cleaning it up, and I still have a few more things to move. So I will have to duck out every now and then, just because the movers might have me, direct them on where to place things. But I'm here. We're live. We are doing this from the bathroom with my Batman here. And yes, those figures look rad. Yes, definitely, Brick Jedi. I think
Oh,
one
thanks.
thing that PT does is he's very mindful about different kinds of contestants when they do special figures. Because when
Oh,
we did some Lego Masters New Zealand reviews, you were really on top of a lot of the figures, like the popcorn people and the tree people, and yeah, you really
yeah. It's
did
just well, I mean, you see something and you're like, that is cool, and then you go back to your build space and you build it, and yeah. So I have a few up above my head there that are
that.
I just enjoy.
So yes, Glenn Copeland is here. I haven't seen
Hey,
you in a
Glenn.
while, Glenn. Hey, bathroom stream. I think that's new. Yes, it is new, but really, this was my best alternative. This or the closet. And the closet, believe it or not, did not have the power, so I needed a power outlet. So I said, okay, it's the bathroom. That's what we're doing today. And of course, Jordan says, I'm glad you're streaming from the bathroom because Emily is a little turd. Okay, the gauntlet has been thrown.
Woo! Oh
Talking has
boy.
started, and we haven't even brought our guests on. And of course, Chris Bronx Conway is also here to heckle. Wow. Grandma Blue Bricks is in the house.
Hey, all right.
Best friend Chris of A-Full After Dark, of course, again. Emilee, no, Jordan, they aren't. So anyway, we're trying to keep up with the chat here. We're almost done. So Chris is here mainly for A-Full After Dark. Okay. Well, this is the first time I think A-Full After Dark has dropped in on our stream. So thank you for coming by. And then, yep, just the facts. And you must be pooped. Yes, I am pooped.
Here we
I don't know
go.
if anybody knows, but my last apartment had 19 stairs to get to the second floor. Concrete stairs, too, I should mention. And we're getting ready for winter. And I said, I don't want to have to do this at least 3 times a day because I have a dog and I have to take her out too. So I think this is something that's going to be great. I'm now in a loft apartment that has an elevator and it's got high ceilings. And yeah, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really, really excited. And bathroom acoustics are legendary. Just ask Jim Morris.
Yeah, that's true.
Wow. Well, thank you everybody for all the chatter. It's been great. And we have 2 special guests on tonight to talk about season 4, episode 3 of Lego Masters US, North America. So please help me welcome first to the stage. Please help me welcome Emilee. Emilee, how's it
Hey.
going? Hey. Uh-oh, is your mic?
You know what? I did send a text to my cast and I said to them, if you're not there, you don't love me. Well, that's why they're all like, Emilee, I'm here. Emilee, I'm here.
Aww, that's
because
sweet.
I'm needy. I'm super needy. So, and they know it.
Well, the other person who would know how needy you are is Kelly Bartlett.
Hey, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly.
Kelly and I know each other from Portlug, and we've missed seeing you in Portlug because you were on the show. It's like, where's Kelly? It's like, I don't know. Where have you seen Kelly? And so it's really great.
It makes me so happy that you guys are watching and cheering for us. And just, I wish I could join you one of these weeks.
Yeah, our heart was racing on episode 1. I tell you, we were going, oh no.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's like, phew. We were really relieved.
But mostly my tears were just racing. So it's fine. Every episode.
We have more people in the house now. We have Jim S., who's also hello there. And of course, Grandma Blue Bricks wants you to know, since we know you're needy, that we love you.
Hey, Karen.
And A-Full After Dark agrees with you. You're the neediest.
I also texted him and said, if you're not on here, you hate me. So he said he came for Kelly.
Oh, yeah. And there you go. So. Kelly. Or is it Kelly? The way it's spelled. I think it's Kelly. Okay. Anyway, you'll have to help me with the pronunciation. My favorite gaming contestant. Oh, okay. We're going to have to learn more about that, about the gaming that's going on. Okay. We were threatened under penalty of death, actually. Wow. Well, all the others who aren't here, they better, it's like the Hunger Games, right? If they're not here, we may not see them at future episodes.
Yeah, Emilee, you were hard on everyone.
And Bonsai's in the house. Hey, Brickaroo, good to see you. So we have some of our regulars dropping in, as well as some of the cast members too. It's true, only here for Kelly and Chris.
Yes.
Wow.
You're dead to me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. Just so everybody knows, because I'm moving today, and that's why I'm streaming in the bathroom. There may be times where PT is going to be running the show directly, and he had good training last week. He did an amazing job with Tacos Blandino, and he had a chance to interview both Chris and Jordan, who are in the chat today, and they're back, so we didn't scare them off, which is good. And so we wanted to just start off by asking, which one of you decided to be on Lego Masters and brought in the other one as your partner? Which one of you did that?
Yeah, that was
actually like
go ahead,
a combination. Yeah, it was a combination. Well, first, if you know anything about me and Kelly's beginning relationships, I literally slid into her DMs early on in 2021. just telling her how amazing she was and that I wanted to be her best friend. And she didn't run away. And then actually, like a couple months later, I was like, you should audition for LEGOMasters. I think you'd be amazing. I would love to see you on there as a female. And she was like, oh, thanks. I don't know if I could do it, but maybe. And then all of a sudden, we both auditioned with other people. And ultimately, the casting production team said, well, would you guys want to be interview together? I'm like, you're going to have to ask Kelly if she can handle me for that long of a period. And she said yes.
Yeah, so we knew each other. So it's not like we were strangers getting paired together. We did know each other, and we just knew that we were total opposites. And so it was an interesting pairing putting us together. But yeah, so we did interview together eventually.
Wow.
After.
That's interesting because, we all know each other, I think, from the Women's Brick Initiative and some other socials like Eiffel After Dark. Maybe you're both members of that. So yeah, so the fact you interviewed with other people and then they actually specifically asked you for this, right?
Yeah, they thought that we would be a good pairing because we are different, we build different.
Right.
Everyone calls us yin and yang. I'm and Kelly's like, so Kelly's like what I call the Princess Diana, like the beautiful, poised, really sweet, and then I'm like the stepsister that comes to parties with her. So I couldn't have asked for a better partner, so I'm glad that they said, that maybe we would make a better match. There's no one I would want to go back with if they ever ask us back, or no one I want to do it with more than what I did with Kelly. So can't complain. She might be able to complain, but I can't.
Well, if they bring you back for a Christmas or Brickmas episode, they might split you up then, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't love that.
A different partner.
I don't think I'd love that, and I think they know that I wouldn't love that. So Kelly's my ride or die. Okay?
We have a few more comments in the chat, which are hilarious. Debo says, if you don't sign off at the end of this episode by saying deuces, it's a missed opportunity.
Oh my God.
And Grandma Blue Brick also wanted PT to know you did a great job last week, as well as Chris.
Well, thank you.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And what are you two building right now? Like this instant?
That's my brother.
This instant.
Oh,
yeah, Timothy. He's so cute.
Yeah, that's my brother. Timothy Takash, composer.
Hi, Tim. That's your brother?
Yeah.
I'm doing the bugs.
My brother
doing a secret project.
Yeah, I'm doing gifts. So I'm making Lego gifts for Christmas gifts. So I'm working on that.
Oh,
but actually,
nice.
Yeah. So my brother on there, he's the one that I originally interviewed with. I don't know if we're supposed to say that or not, but
I think it's fine.
we grew up playing Lego so much together. So he and I actually auditioned together for the show, and then they split us up and put me with Emilee. But I always wonder.
Sorry, Timothy.
I'm like, what would it have been like with my brother instead of Emilee?
I think it's probably okay. We've gotten a lot of inside information on these interviews. For example, when we had interviewed Xavier and Jonathan, we found out Jonathan dyed his hair 2 days before going to Atlanta because they called him up and said, you are showing up blonde, right?
Oh.
Like, spent 8 hours in the chair doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like what they said to us. They were like, "You're bringing everything pink, right?"
Right. Okay, so that's kind of my next question.
Yeah, we own nothing pink.
is I wanted to ask you. You mentioned you guys are Team Pink, but they mention you on the show as the Marvelous Moms, I think, or
literally changed our name. They've changed our name every episode. I actually have noticed that they changed majority of people's names, like. Last episode, we were Competitive Moms. An episode of we were the Brickin' Moms or Brick Moms. And then so I really just think they don't have like a set theme name this time as maybe they have in years past. Like the Castle Bros or, because I noticed that like Christopher and Robert on the first episode weren't the Tech Bros, but then they were the Tech Bros. And then like.
Okay.
So I do think they're switching it up. I mean, at least I've noticed for me and Kelly, it was like one episode was moms and then the next one was like competitive moms. And so
it's all that. I mean, moms is the underlying theme, I guess, but we are competitive moms and we're all the rest of them too. So that's fine. They can
Yep. They can give us whatever they want.
And Chris also wants to mention that you asked to be her best friend, then cheated on her with someone else in the auditions.
I know.
I didn't ask her. For the record, I did not say we should go on Lego Masters together. I said you should go because you're amazing.
She
you
is
should
amazing.
try out.
You're both
And
amazing.
And then the casting person reached out to me and to Kelly, and then we just went for it. Yeah, see, opposites, but both equally amazing.
Yep.
Thanks,
And
Lewis.
Kelly, you deserve a medal.
I know. It takes a very special person to be Emilee's partner.
Well, you deserve a medal in many different ways, and we'll get to that in a little bit. I want to make sure we also, have a chance to see not even Lewis, Emilee.
I might go on with Lewis at some point because he's my second bestie.
Oh,
next to Kelly.
Wow. Well, he's going to school you, right?
Oh,
Oh man.
Only
I was
someone who
actually friends with
watches an
Lewis
episode
before I
800 times would notice. Well, PT, did you have any specific questions? I wanted to go start talking about the Team Pink thing, but I think
No, I always want to know how you got into Lego and how you started. So
yeah, how'd you get into?
I'll let Kelly start on this one. Her story is cooler. So
Well, it's like a lot of people's stories. I got into it when I was a kid, and I think I remember getting my first set when I was about 4, and it was the Yellow Castle, which I still have. Like, my brother and I we kept our sets together for all these years. Like, they've been in our basement, they've been in storage. We never disassembled them because we just loved our Lego sets, and we've just taken good care of them. They're a little dusty right now. They could use a cleaning. But I've just always, I grew up with it, and then, had a dark age, college years, whatever, like everybody kind of has. And then when my kids were old enough to have their own sets, I got back into it, helping them build, and I just remembered how fun it was. I never really forgot because every so often my brother and I would still get out our sets and be like, remember this? And we'd put them all back together and make sure everything was still there. And so I was always, involved with it. And then my kids kind of helped me get back into it. And I learned how many new pieces there were in the sets nowadays versus when I was a kid, which was, in the 80s, and all the pieces were very blocky and primary colors. And I never felt like I could build the kinds of mocks I wanted to build. So, so getting back into it as an adult was just super fun. And I had fun doing sets and learning all the new pieces that were there. And then I eventually just started trying my own mocks.
Very nice.
now she's Kelly Bartlett.
Yes, being shown at the Lego
Kelly
house.
Bartlett, but now she's the Kelly Bartlett Lego artist.
Before I was even really friends with Kelly, I used to send her hashtag saying "build like Bartlett" was the hashtag. So anytime I did a mock and I loved it and I was so proud of it, I would put hashtag "build like Bartlett" before we were even really friends. And now it should be a hashtag everywhere.
I don't know why that didn't catch on, and it didn't really catch on everywhere.
It might. We can start promoting it. Okay, build like Bartlett. It's got a nice ring to it.
There we go.
I love it so much. I love it so much. So I got into Lego similar. I had it as a Duplo as a kid, but then really did other things, like kissing boys and stuff that you do as a teenage girl. And then I was like, okay, well, I got to build some more. So I bought a set for my son for Christmas. And then my husband was a travel nurse, so we moved a lot, 13 times in 2-year period.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so annoying trying to move with my kids building in the car. So I went to Walmart frustrated one night to try to make this tray to hold the Lego in the car, and then super glue, determination. And then now I wasn't going to talk about this, but I have this tray that I invented that now is my full-time business. And that is why I got into Lego, because my marketer said you should be into Lego. You need to immerse in the culture. And then that's how it started. So it all started with this simple tray. And then I became in love with all the humans in the community.
Which is awesome. Your tray is
right. Right.
Very nice.
That's how it happened. And now I'm more obsessed with Lego than I am with anything. Look at my room.
Now I got to ask this comment from Grandma Blue Brick. Karen mentions snorting Coca-Cola. What?
No, I don't. I did not. I drink Red Bull. I don't really like soda, but I like Red Bull.
I'm thinking maybe she was laughing so hard that she was, you know how you like cough up
Oh yes,
when you're,
yes.
you know, like a spit
Karen,
take, right? When
I'll
you're
tell you what.
in
Karen
acting.
likes her colas, man.
I was gonna say this brings AFOL to a whole new level when you start talking about snorting Coca-Cola, right? So maybe that's
Definitely.
something AFOL After Dark will be doing in the future. So, yeah,
I
there's
hope so.
been some bizarre comments here in the chat. Second bestie, uh-oh, bye Felicia. See ya.
Sorry, Jord.
Jordan, don't take it personally. She's bow it up with the best friends. Oops, hoe it up, bow it up.
That is how Ben, the guy that runs A After the Dark, says ho.
Oh,
It's like a
gotcha.
hoax. Like, you know, that's just a nicer way of saying that I tell everyone I love them and everyone is my best friend.
Oh, okay.
So no one actually has that title except Kelly does. I always tell Kelly oh, hi, John.
That's my husband.
That's her husband, John.
He just got home.
Not
Oh,
the same
no,
John.
stay for a moment.
They say.
Hello.
This is my husband, John.
Hey.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's very supportive of my Lego habit.
Yes.
I'm
I met John at
talented.
BrickCon Friends and Family Day. So I got
Yes,
to meet
that's
your daughter too. Yeah.
Yes, she was there.
That is awesome that you have such a supportive family, and you also do this hobby together too, because your daughter also, didn't she win an award also
She
at BrickCon?
did at BrickCon. Yeah, that's what I told her when we left. She left with a trophy and I didn't. I said, I don't think I'm going to enter the same category as you anymore.
Well, you know what? That would also have been an interesting pairing. Is your daughter under 18 though? Is that why you
No, she's
didn't?
18. Yeah,
So
she's
you
18.
could have gone also mother-daughter team too.
I know, you know what? We actually did interview together, so I interviewed with her also, and they they still split us up, and they really wanted me with Emilee.
Wow!
Yeah.
Wow!
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry, Kelly.
Emilee she's a force to be reckoned with.
Oh my goodness! Wow. Well, thank you, John, for making an appearance too. And in fact, I don't know if he'll make it into the chat, but I also offered the moving company manager to drop in on the chat too. So he may be dropping in actually as a guest for just like a little cameo. So just be forewarned, people. Like the mover. See, this is the Brick-and-Easter Broadcast Network. It's like, do you want to be on the show? You guys are moving our stuff. You know, you're the movers, the official movers of the Brick-and-Easter Broadcast Network, right? So anyway, some more.
They're probably like, we're good. But okay,
they just ain't loyal. That's right. Deal with it, Jordan. You got Alex. I guess there's some inside backstory behind that too. We'll get to that, Louis, when we have you and Alex on the show. But I think this is the most we've had for chats in a while.
Yeah.
PT.
I mean, very funny tonight.
See what threatening does for people? You threaten and people show up for you.
We need you to threaten people more often. Yeah. And see, this is the Wish Aubrey. Oh, is this Aubrey and Ryan Aubrey?
No, that is Aubrey, Moktura Aubrey.
Oh, it's Moktura.
Hey,
Aubrey.
Hey, how you doing,
I'm not
Aubrey?
used to seeing her as Wish Aubrey.
She makes a joke because Aubrey on the show is also spelled the same way as hers. And so she says she's the Wish version. And Jordan and I actually, funny enough, would call ourselves the Wish version of Aubrey and Ryan. Like what you ordered was this beautiful Aubrey and Ryan. And then you get me and Jordan, who are still cute, but less beautiful than Aubrey and Ryan.
Wow. That's like, I guess, an alternate universe, right? If you wanted to look at it that way.
There you go.
Yes.
Wow. Look at that. I mean, your cast has lots of banter going on about claiming Alex. I mean, this is the kind of stuff we didn't have. We didn't ask that question, Jordan, when you and Chris were on last week. It's like you claiming Alex. Wow, très chic.
Everyone wanted to be Alex's best friend, but ultimately, I think he would select me, so it's fine.
Okay, we're gonna do this. Build like Bartlett on a shirt. #build like Bartlett. So
Brick World. I'm in on it.
Brick World, and it's got to be a pink shirt, right?
Yeah, right.
If it's not pink, we're not wearing it.
Right.
Because we love pink.
Well, I wanted to mention, so everybody knows, since I have movers here too, that PT has put together a slideshow of episode 3. And I don't think we're going to be able to get through all of the comments. I'm going to try because this is new for us to have all this banter going on at the same time. Oh, so here's a question from Glenn Copeland, who's one of our regulars here on the BBN. So when did y'all's dark ages end?
I often think that I never totally was in a dark age, because like I said, every time we go to my parents' house and we go down the basement, my mom and dad would make us clean out some stuff. We'd get out all the Lego boxes, and it was like we were playing all over again. So I don't feel like I totally was in the dark age, but I guess technically it wasn't until my kids started doing their Lego sets. So they were probably 5, and so I was probably in my early 30s, I guess.
And now she's 31, so it's
so it just really hasn't been that long.
I got out of mine in 2020, like half the people in the world during the pandemic. Like I think I bought my first Lego set in 2020 of the Christmas of 2020.
And then when did the tray come into existence? Right after the pandemic too?
It was about September of 2021 when we sold our first tray to actually Lewis. Lewis bought my very first tray.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's How great. Cool is that?
Yeah. So that's our special. I always loved him, and then I loved him even more that day. So
Salad Bricks to the rescue started this whole trend. Wow. That's
the
great.
Best.
And he loves his tray too, by the way.
Very, very supportive friend. So appreciate you, buddy.
Okay, so the snorting Coca-Cola is the solution here. Is they always make me laugh when I pick up a Coke. So okay, great. Okay, like I said, I'm going to try to keep up with the chat. Sometimes I'm not going to be able to read it out loud, but just so you know, we are watching and we appreciate you all for doing that too. Wait, what? Wish Aubrey is Slopes Aubrey?
Yes. Yeah. Wish Aubrey is Slopes
also,
Aubrey. Which
in the past, wasn't she the Brick Cove?
Brick
so
Cove.
She's had many names.
She's a woman of many talents, and I love her dearly.
Definitely. All right. So I think based on the chat, I think we're ready for the slideshow. I just want to make sure if we have any other questions specifically before we get the slideshow going. Okay, great. I miss her and her giant family. Yeah, Aubrey has an awesome family.
Ha! All right.
Yeah, we miss you too. Oh, look who's in the house. Evie Good has joined us from season 3. How's it going, Eddie? Also Niners fan, by the way.
Oh, that's all right. So, as you guys know, season 3 was all about the volcanoes. I do have to, my plug is I know Brandon Griffith, who builds all these. He's here in LA, and a couple of friends from Legola will help him out. So Chris Wright in his white fluffy clouds. So you guys each had
clouds.
Yeah, no, it was really nice.
They're not awesome.
So you guys each had an island to build. I thought this was interesting. I think they've used this before, but I remember seeing it in New Zealand. They had the exact same setup where they had the tables roll out.
Right, the Arpical Lego.
Yeah.
Yes. Trying to pronounce it right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think they may have leveraged some of that from that show.
So
because it was islands, a similar setup that way.
So Kelly and Emily, did you guys decide which island you wanted to go after? Did you know and did you get it, or did someone else push you out of the way?
So Kelly is the most athletic person in the cast. So anytime there was running, I'm like, it's you. Like, so we both decided that we wanted Arctic. I love building like brick build little people. And I was like, I could build a polar bear. I could do penguins and they could be. And so Kelly was the first to get there and she ran right to the white one and above the clouds.
And realized it was clouds because there were 2 white themes.
Oh.
So it was such
the
a
above
rush.
the clouds.
Yeah.
The above the clouds had a white with gray and the Arctic had a white with blue rim. And so it was impossible to tell them a difference when you're running up. So that's why when Will comes up and he's like, you guys got above the clouds. And I go, yeah, and we're stoked about it. It was because we wanted Arctic, and actually Sam and Nina wanted clouds. And unfortunately, once you touch it, it's yours. That's how the show works. But
yeah, we were both good with switching, and they didn't let us. So we got clouds instead of Arctic. So we had to change our thought process right away.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, because, well, did you guys discuss it before or after what you were
No, you don't really have time to discuss it before. It's just like ready, set, go. And we both.
And I'm like, get Arctic. You can actually hear me like, get the Arctic. Kelly, I'll just stand here and look at you and you do the running. Good job, girl. Woo-woo.
Well, we do know that you do have a cheerleader in you, right?
No.
Emily? Because didn't you teach some cheers to Will in a future episode? You don't have to say about the future episode, just
the two of me and Kelly,
trailer.
Out of the two of me and Kelly, who do you think was going to do a cheerleading move with Will when asked to do that?
Oh yeah. They showed it in the promos, which in a way was a little disappointing that they showed it because that kind of made us know you weren't going to go home on episode 1 because we saw that other cheer happening in a future episode. So I think some of the editing needs a little bit of polish to make sure they don't give away things. Right?
I think that's just kind of how production works. You notice who gets seen more usually.
Yeah. That's a teaser. It's a teaser for a future show. But at least we can say on this show, we don't talk about any spoilers because we don't get any information earlier than anybody else. The only thing we get is a chance to interview the contestants before the show airs, and also post elimination interviews as well. And but this was amazing. Just also seeing how you weren't quite sure what you were going to get. You knew you wanted the white one, but then when you discovered it, it was like, oh, I guess we're building above the clouds now.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow. All right.
Emily was saying that she went to her computer just as you're saying, I have too many names. I didn't say you had too many names. I said you had many names. I think it's great you have lots of names. You can have all kinds of names.
You're keeping people guessing, you know.
Right. That's why when it was like the this Wish Aubrey, it's like, ooh, who's that? That's great. Yes. And always here, Emily. Yes, the brief. This is a slide I requested from PT when we were starting the show. It's that it would be nice if we had just a card on the side of the table. And we got this idea actually from Patrick, who was on season 3. He says, I would like a little card that just says what we're supposed to do. So we have Mount Brick-suvious, and we're supposed to build a volcano with 5 different environments. And we talked about above the clouds, Arctic ice, tropical jungle, ocean and seas, and desert. And then there's going to be fire explosions and lava flow, which I thought was really cool. And you had 12 hours to do that. And in honor of this, I wore my Jurassic Park cap. Nice. Volcanoes.
There you go.
Yes. I was so excited when the volcano was this episode. I was just like, oh, that's going to be so much fun. Volcanoes.
You'd think.
Okay, well, I have a question then about the lava flow. Since that's not something you can test, did they let you at least get a sense of the viscosity of the gel?
We have to be a little bit careful on what we say here, but yes, we did get to see a little sample of how the lava was supposed to work.
Okay.
And did they tell you how much was going to be pumped out? Like 2 cups, 3 cups, 12 cups?
Did they say
yes and no? Yes and no.
I'm not sure how to take that.
Well, let's just say that the way Stephen Yo has phrased it is he'll say, the way I understand the parameters is this. And I asked production if that was true, and they said, that is an accurate depiction of what was described. So you can kind of go along those languages where they might say, you can expect maybe, a cup of a lava flow, or if you say that to them and then they agree, then that's something that you can share.
In my notes, it says it was between 1 and 2 gallons of lava.
Oh,
yeah,
gallons. Woo.
1 to 2 gallons.
Like
Whoa.
we didn't know exactly. We couldn't test it. But we had enough of an idea that we could figure out, like, we would have enough to have an actual flow if we designed it correctly and channeled it. It comes down to the design. Are you going to let your lava go everywhere, or do you want it to go somewhere specific? So
right.
We just really tried to focus on where we wanted it, not knowing exactly how much we were going to get, but really trying to make the most of what we did get.
Gotcha.
And even during like our little speech, I was nervous about the lava and how much mess it was going to make. Both of us were. And so at the end of it, I gave our whole brief, and then I said, and the lava can sometimes be messy, but that's just job security for the cleanup crew.
And was it
because we had no idea if it was going to like burst, or if we built that canal successfully. You just don't know.
Yeah.
And mapping the miles, welcome to the stream too.
Oh, it was scorching, man.
Did they clean the lava-infested bricks or toss them?
I don't know. We actually don't know.
I think they probably
cleaned them. I do know something, because they Atlanta Brick Co. did get a couple of the builds. Kelly, I don't know if I told you this, but they got a couple of the pieces from builds that people can go purchase. Everything is for sale. Everything that Atlanta Brick Co. has is for sale. So like on Lewis and Alex's, they have those little seaweed things. Atlanta Brick Co. currently has their actual seaweed things.
Wow. Whoa.
They have the tentacles from Paul and Nolita's.
Everybody's going to be running out to Atlanta Brick Co. now.
Yeah.
Oh, get your fandom going. Wow.
They don't have anything from ours, unfortunately, because we just did our canal so good. It didn't go everywhere.
Well, speaking of Lewis and Alex, they had the Temple of the Sea God. This is that rendering. And they have, this is a build in progress where they're having some discussion. I don't know about height or whatnot.
It looks like Lewis is saying, this is how high the lava is going to go out, and then it will come back in.
It's going to blow.
I'm just guessing.
I really enjoyed this build, with especially the way the volcano came to life, with the eyes flickering, and then the mouth, with the lava coming out of the mouth, and it was just like, whoa, this is one angry god.
It was a gorgeous build, absolutely.
Yeah, that was a nice touch with the eyes.
No, it was.
And that kelp coming up that I will say Alex built, and they are very nice and frame it very well. Good job, Alex. Love you so much.
And the massive lava plume as well.
So you're telling me these stalks of kelp here, or seaweed, are on sale at Atlanta Brick Co.?
They surely are.
Hey, all right.
Now, are they signed by the artist too?
They're signed by the lava.
You can get your little stickiness there too. Tim's Brick Adventures, they had our fish people because they are adaptive and resilient. So did you mean Atlanta Brick Company has your fish people?
Yes. That's what he's talking about.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, I just have to eat snacks when I'm doing this.
That's good. That's good.
No worries.
But the other thing I wanted to mention, since we're still on this, is that I think the color and the symmetry of this is so beautiful.
It was so well done.
And the staircases that are going up with a very Aztec feel to it, the colors, the yellows, the oranges, and then the green is the nice counterpoint. And of course the grayish brown, it just really, really well done. I really love this build.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, it's like a great central focal point, but then there's all these little details around it.
Right. And of course, also the play features with the light coming on. I forgot to mention that. Not just the flickering, but just the light feature as well. Yeah. Really amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there it is, blowing its top.
That's probably what you were saying earlier about what he was describing. Actually, Lewis, you're in the chat. That previous picture with your arm up in the air, were you describing how tall the flame was going to go?
He was actually saying to Alex, this is as much as I can take of Emilee now that we're standing right next to them, because we were right next to them. And
Emilee has just got
I've had enough to hear with Emilee this episode. That's what it's
Oh my God.
Right.
I agree, Jordan. There were so many beautiful builds. I think Lewis and Alex easily could have been in the top on this one as well.
Yeah. Does the seaweed have axles or bars running through, or maybe flex tubes?
It had flex tubes and those little leaf things, and then studs to keep it upright.
I love this shot. This particular shot where it looks like a tongue with the lava coming out of its mouth, and also with the lava coming from the top. Yeah, just brilliant.
No, yeah.
Lewis
Very nice flow.
And then Lewis says, I don't remember, but I was probably showing him how much my pits were sweating.
I mean, it gets hot in there, and
they're wearing ties the whole time too.
Yeah.
Oh, please. At one point, I'm in a sweatshirt and a vest. They can't complain about ties. They're fine.
Yes, I agree. Mapping the miles. That is super cool.
All right. Tim, and they had the big plunge.
Right. I think you're going to have to make some fish people. I think that's your next challenge, is some fish people.
I can do that. I
know you can for a future episode.
In the picture, but they literally have minifig legs and then fish heads. So their lava was very successful. They engineered it really well because it didn't go out the top. It came out and then down a canal that they have planned through these little things to then spin those little fish right there that you see. And then they had another wheel circulating.
Yeah.
Their lava was very successful.
Yeah.
That was a good.
Who else spun? Did you say, Emilee?
What'd you say? Sorry?
Who else spun? I mean, I knew these orange fish.
So they're fish, and then they had like a little wheel. If I remember correctly.
Ben and Poppy's had a wheel too, didn't it?
Who had a wheel?
I think it did. And then Tim said, I can hopefully share the design in the future. Yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah.
Share your design of the fish people too while you're at it.
I think that's what he means.
Make them green and red.
Well, their lava was very successful. It was very exciting to watch their lava come down.
Yeah, that was a
that plume of fire is just really, I mean, it's as tall as the mock, right? Wow, that's amazing. I love it.
And there's their lava flow coming down.
So they thought they were going to get lava coming down that other chute. Do you see the top chute?
The top chute, yeah.
That was then supposed to make someone surf. Now I remember when Tim said that. It was supposed to make the little guy kind of surf off into the ocean.
Right.
Yeah. You know why? Yeah, because on the other shot, where is it? This one. Right there. There he is.
Yeah.
Right. That's
I was supposed to sim him, and he was supposed to look like he was surfing on the lava, essentially.
Which is kind of a nice maybe callback to the doctors, their volcano that they did for the camp episode.
I've been hearing about that. I need to go back and watch that episode because I don't remember that volcano.
That episode was amazing, where they camp lava for you or something.
Okay.
Or go with
I need to go back and watch that.
Yeah, that was a great one. And Tim said he made multiple colors of the fish people. Yeah. Definitely.
There they are.
These were very fun.
You may have to share, as I haven't seen any of those. These, my friend, came from Endemol Shine. So if you need some of these, I'm pretty sure we can share them with you because you're on the show. But I don't think we can share them with other outlets. Okay, how would you rate the health and safety precautions they took for this episode?
We were 7 miles away from the build, and we all wore safety goggles.
So yeah, 10 out of 10.
Not a single person was harmed
New
in the making of this
Zealanders
episode.
that they don't wear any protective gear for any of the smashing episodes.
Oh yeah.
We were very safe. Too safe, maybe.
Wow.
See what's going on.
Wow.
Well, the lava flow did they mention anything about what it was made of? Or they say anything? It was like slime, or it's the same consistency?
It was lava, Naomi. It was lava.
Imported from Hawaii.
Right.
It's the consistency of lava. You know?
Spared no expense.
Well, it just reminded me of slime from Nickelodeon.
Yeah. Us too, I think. We're like corn syrup or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But we don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
All right. City of the Scorpion worshippers, and this is Poppy and Ben.
Yes.
This is
I just love them both so much.
This one was so good.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. There's all these details in there, and you get a good, like, when you first look at it, you go, wow, like it has this wow effect. And then if you have a chance to get zoomed in on some of the details, you just have so much fun looking at all the little characters they put in there and the little scene they set up. This was really fun.
Yeah.
Right.
Asymmetry of the, what do you call it? Flower. Ben used way better terms than I'm using, but the little flow thing on the side.
Mm-hmm. Now, he also mentioned about using, I guess, some sort of mechanism to make the flow faster too.
Oh, yeah.
Some
I
principle.
think they made, so Poppy had talked about making small channels. So they had small channels for their lava. The smaller aqueduct, thank you.
Right.
The smaller your channel, the more your lava is going to have force to do what it needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, looks Roman or Greek, but didn't he mention a principle like Bernoulli?
Yeah, which is the making it.
Yeah, there it is, Bernoulli's. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah.
The Bernoulli principle. Thank you, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask.
Someone was paying attention.
A competitive engineer. It's like, why didn't I think about the Bernoulli principle?
I think he probably did, Jordan.
He might have, or he might have said, I should have put that in there.
So, and then they had, the city was greedy, so they have all that extra money down there at the bottom, and then the king, and see all the money on the stairs. So their hope was that the lava would come down and cleanse the city of its greed.
Mm-hmm. It was a beautiful story, architecture, and that shows, with Ben's architecture background as well, right?
Yeah, it does for sure.
Really,
Poppy and Ben are a very fun, very sweet team.
Yeah.
Poppy will make you laugh harder than anyone else on the show. And also make you feel bad about yourself because he just speaks the truth.
Right. Look at that fire.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, those pyrotechnics. And
there's the king. He's getting washed away with all the gold.
Yep.
And all those other people are running away, obviously.
Run away. That's a great detail they didn't mention on the show, really, about also the other inhabitants like being fearful of this whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a giant scorpion. I would be scared.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. The unintentionally laugh too.
All right, this is the Ancient Awakening with Jordan and Chris. Here's their build going and in progress.
Yes.
This was such a cool concept. Like the way that I was just blown away by their mechanism that they were creating to raise up this snake. And unfortunately it didn't work. And I don't know if part of that was because like I said, we did not get to test these. Like, we didn't get to play with the lava flow. We didn't know how fast it would come out, or really.
Right.
And so I don't know, but I remember being so impressed and intimidated by their.
It was amazing. I mean, me and Kelly talked after seeing this, like, we didn't even think of like using the same mechanism you would with motor as without with the lava. And so, yeah, it was a marvelous build. And can you go back to a PT by chance?
Sure. You want to go back to
Jordan and Chris?
To the slideshow. Not
what? Wrong one. Sorry.
If you see on the obelisk, so the obelisk actually has like writing on there, and it's Chris's daughter's birthday or something about her, and then the Sphinx on the side they didn't show. It's like a perfect Johnny Thunder Sphinx that you can't even.
That reminded me of the one from the Haunted Mansion.
Yeah,
it was really well done, and I think unfortunately, and I told Jordan, if they would have added like some element, and then this thing was built into a volcano instead of being what it was on its own, I do not think they would have been in the bottom for their ambition on this.
To our previous episode.
I mean, they did have movement. All those, if you look at that little hole, they had like a bunch of spiders and snakes that did come out with the lava. So ultimately, they had as much movement as some other teams did.
Yeah.
But when you tell the judges you're going to do something, they want to see it, and if you don't bring that forward, they're going to knock you for that, no matter how great of a ambition it is.
That's just like, was it Boone and Mark on the early episode where they said they were going to do something with the roller coaster and it didn't happen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we did have a chance to, or at least I wasn't there, but PT and Tacos had a chance to interview Jordan and Chris about this. And I think too, they mentioned that all the time they spent to get the mechanism put together and then trying to hide the mechanism and then still make it work, with all of that, the time just flies by.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. But I think the whole concept was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And if Jamie Berard wasn't so obsessed with, it's got to look like a volcano, that it really had the concepts of a volcano, right? Yeah.
I think if maybe the wheel wasn't covered and you could have seen it moving and they had a few more rocks, I think it would have been very successful.
Exactly.
I hated that Will said, "Nice try, guys."
Oh, yeah.
It ate at my soul. So, and clearly I was emotional. Shocking.
But that's all. It just goes to show you how much you all care about each other, right? As a family, as a team.
Yeah.
So nobody wants to see anybody go home, and it's interesting when we talk about just families, right? That it's the way this whole thing is designed.
I think that's hard because, of course, you don't want to go home, but you also don't want other people to go. It's very hard. It's a really weird situation.
Right.
I wanted to be there. So obviously other teams getting eliminated was good for me to stay there, but it still didn't make it easy to watch other teams go.
I think we all appreciate, the stress that we're under when we're there and the effort that we all put into these builds. Everybody wants to do their best. Everybody's trying to bring it and kind of take it out of the box. Like, I think that was like, you got to think out of the box and be creative. You want to stand out, but also, it's so much pressure to perform on camera and like to do it all in this time frame when you're not used to that. And so to see whoever ends up in the bottom, we're all very right there with them, whether we're up there or not. We all just get it, and it's sad to see anybody up there.
Right. Now, a little bit of spoiler alert here because this is in the chat, but Lewis says they should not have gone home. And Jordan's, thanks, guys. A swing for the fences means striking out now and then. And, I think, too, when we had a chance to interview them also, the post-interview, he mentioned a term about, raising the bar, but be careful about clotheslining yourself. If you raise the bar too high, that sometimes, you got to be careful because you might end up, hurting yourself in the bar.
It's a very hard balance to find when you're in the moment on that episode. Like I said, with all the pressure, like it is very difficult to be the show, actually.
And you know, our first episode, Kelly and I, we went really big because we wanted to show that we can build big. And then it ultimately was a problem. Then on our next episode, we built very detailed and very clean, and then we were too small.
Yeah.
So it's just like finding that balance and building with someone you've never built with. And even though we adore each other, it is not easy. We're both builders. We build different. But ultimately, you have to like decide what 3 things you want. There's 3 things you need, and you pick 2 of them. And that's all you can do in that episode to try to make it through.
Right.
So wish Aubrey's back to Moktura. My top 3 had to switch up this week.
Oh, Aubrey, you'll text me those top 3. I'm very curious. She'll put me in there because she loves me.
Right.
Oh, man. All right. The next build, Kaboom Box, the
Volcano.
Oh.
I just love all the colors.
Yeah. I will say I loved that time lapse they did. Why can't they do that for every build?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, where they were showed.
That was amazing.
GoPro in our corner. And
I know.
Like, it would be so cool. Like, what if that was like on the show, and then people could watch that later, and that was just something you could watch. No, maybe no words were being spoken. It was just people building, and you could see the creative. I would love that. So
yeah, you know why they didn't do ours? Because our table was always so messy. Our GoPro was covered like the whole time with mess on the table. They can't do it with everyone, so you have to have a clean table.
I know Allison and Melanie's was kind of a disaster. Even
don't cover your GoPro while you're on the show.
They did come by and they would move stuff if your GoPro was
did.
Lewis wants Moktura to post her top 3 here.
I don't think she will. Maybe.
So now everybody wants to know who were your top 3, Moktura. So looks like, you know, once you ask it, everybody wants to know.
Yeah.
Well, going back to this build that we're reviewing, I think too that when one of the interviewers that are part of the Endemol Shine broadcast groups, he also asks, "What is your superpower?" And the answer that Allison and Melanie gave was color and music. And it's really clear every time you see a build of theirs. It's like both of those things come through so strong. And I think I wish they would have spent more time on this build. It went really fast when they reviewed it.
Yeah.
But I love that purple with the it looked like magenta, kind of almost like a layer cake in a way that they were doing with the color. Instead of a typical volcano. Yeah.
I think the hardest thing for Allison and Melanie was it was actually incredible because this volcano is completely hollow. It had no interior structure to keep it together. So if they put any kind of pressure anywhere, I'm surprised it didn't collapse on each other. But they got that volcano up so fast, the volcano itself. And then they had been told in previous episodes, like, you guys have got to slow down. Like, you're building your whole thing, and then you're not having enough time to put all those beautiful details. And so I think on this one, it's a great build, but I think they just built the volcano so fast that they just kept adding and adding to try to take up their full time, which they will say the same thing. Like Melanie was like, I just added more fire. And so, because the volcano went up so quickly. But it was, I mean, how fast they built that volcano was amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Let's see.
Now, did you know about the ukulele before the show started? Did you know that they were going to be a musical team, or did it just become a thing that they would do on every episode?
No, I think going into it, we knew that they were going to, I didn't know they were going to sing every episode, but we knew that they were going to sing.
Yeah.
But poor Melanie had never written a song in her life, and came in and then had to write all these songs plus build. So I give Melanie mad props. She had to play, build, and learn a song, and I could barely get my words to even do our presentation. So
Wow.
Yeah, look at that.
So,
and who doesn't want to go in a lava full of hot tub full of lava? That sounds great to be incinerated.
They give your team all 3 slots.
Good job, Aubrey.
Yeah, that's the right answer, Aubrey.
I'm going to be stepping aside for just a moment, but I'll be back.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
Okay,
All right.
have fun.
Well, that's the end where they have the lava that came down both sides and filled up their pool.
Yeah. Filled up the hot tub. I liked that idea of like, because the lava, you know, it's hot, and I was like, oh, that's really clever. I like that. Fill up the pool.
All right. Rainmaker
Oh!
Island.
This is ours.
Yeah.
Wait to talk about this.
Yeah. All right, there's Team Pink.
Yeah.
It's me probably yelling at Lewis. That's what it looks like.
So let me ask you then. So the center here, this yellow block, this is just you guys just building some internal structure off of what, 2x8s or something?
Yeah, this one did not go all the way up. It was just enough to keep that base going so that the pipe didn't move around. So I didn't build this whole structure all the way to the top, and then we built around it. Ultimately, if I could go back, like you heard me in the show, I was like, oh my freaking hell, Kelly, this is so hard. If I could go back, I would have probably done studs out and rounded it out. I think we could have built it a lot faster. The volcano took me way longer than I ever anticipated it to. I felt like I was a fast builder until I built this volcano, and I'm like, I am molassesly slow. So
yeah, it took a long time, but while she was doing the volcano, I was doing other things. So we just tried to manage our time that well. You did a good job, Emily. Like, that was hard.
Thank
It's hard
you,
to get up
Kelly.
a big structure quickly, so it's good.
You guys don't, I mean, on your time management, did you guys, I mean, you have a watch? Did you set alarms for yourself? Did you actually even plan out your time?
Not really. We didn't plan our time. Yeah, sometimes we'd set little goals. Let's say, okay, let's have the volcano done by this time, which we did not. We didn't meet our time. Or like, let's have this part done, but when there's this many hours left. But it was really general and vague, and you know, we didn't go into detail with it. You just kind of always keep an eye on the clock and think about.
We knew what our strengths were as a team.
Yeah.
I felt like I was more of a voluminous builder, and Kelly's more of like a fantastical fine detail builder. So we just ultimately, as we go on in, you know, between episode 1 and then 2 and now 3, at this point we knew where our strengths lied and didn't, and so we tried to play to our strengths. And so on this one, what you can't see is, well, I'll just kind of give you the spill. It was like, welcome to Rainmaker Island above the clouds, where the rainmakers harvest and grew rain crops to then put into their water tower, and the volcano, they learned to make it work for them. The lava flow would come down and help water the worlds below. So the whole point of our build was, as you can see, these little trees over here, everyone was like, what are those? But those are rain crops that have been growing. And we actually had people with like axes that were down there pretending to hammer. All of our workers were in uniform. And then all the raindrops were their control centers where they had to work. And as you can see, this guy's lifting up some rain things. And then the lava would come down, ultimately hit that rain, that, what do you call that? That water tower. And then the rain would fall everywhere to the world below. The velocity of, see, I should have done what Poppy did and made it smaller and really narrow right into there. But our lava did not flow onto the control center, so there was no cleanup crew needed.
Yeah.
Great about that. And then like our pathways were all with these little, our pathways were all rainbow color. And then there was this rainbow behind inside of the volcano where they had cored it out to make it be able to function the way they wanted it to.
Yeah, so I really liked our story. I thought the story was super fun, and we had just a good time like setting it up and showing this whole operation system of what it would be like to grow and harvest rain. And anyway, I thought the story was super cute, so we had fun with that. Like,
how are clouds made? Debo had a question. Were you able to seal the top of the pipe to keep the lava from back flowing?
Yeah, we
no,
did.
but you have to seal it with Lego. You don't seal it like, so as you can see, I created like a little thing, like this little hexagon thing at the top to make sure that's, so we had like a bowl in there, and then the back was actually taller to make sure that the lava would come out of that little hole, almost like Christopher and Robert's, but obviously they had a bionicle face that looked incredible, that was spewing. Like, ours was not doing that.
Yeah, but ours, before we did the eruptions, they did come around and seal the tops with some putty or something.
Oh yeah, some putty.
Yeah.
I remember that. I
Yeah,
forgot.
there you go. Lewis just said, yeah, they had putty, and
Yeah.
Jordan said, yeah, they sealed it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say that this was not on the show, so this is a little hidden secret. I asked Will to when he pushed our button to say "make it rain," and he's like, "Emilee, I don't take requests from you." And he did actually push the button and say "make it rain." And then unfortunately our tower did not tip over, and I was like, "Will, just hit it a little." And so at the end of our thing, he tipped over our tower, and 400 little translucent blues went everywhere. And that's why you see me when I run back to our table go, woo! Because I was so excited because Will had done it. Was so fun. And I know why they didn't show it, because it would have. But
Yeah.
see, it's so, look at those raindrops
look
that
at
Kelly
that.
did.
Yeah. So we had these little workstations that were shaped like raindrops. And so we just kind of curved the walls of those bricks, and we used translucent bricks. And I think they're super cute how they turned out. There's a little computer and like a workstation in each thing. I mean, building minifig scale, whenever they have a challenge that's minifig scale, I feel like the details are so small, it's really hard to really see everything. But we're supposed to do minifig scale. So we've got them in there. It's just really hard to see. But I love our raindrops.
I did too. Ultimately, I know this like maybe wasn't a favorite of others, but I liked it overall.
Yeah.
I wish my volcano could have been a little more, but ultimately you do what you do. And I'm super proud of Kelly for all the fantastical little details she put in there.
Oh, very nice. Oops, my mouse is acting up. Why? I don't know. Wow, I can't. Okay, well, let's just try hitting a button. Oh yeah, this is just showing more lava flow coming down.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if I could have made our little thing a little more centered, it would have hit that stud. That center stud was only being held by one tiny little stud.
Mm-hmm.
And ultimately, maybe if we had a bigger base on the water tower or a smaller thing, it would have tipped over. Maybe, who knows? But overall, like, look at those little guys in the corner. They're carrying the rain. It's so freaking cute. Look at that. That's cute.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan raindrops super fun, very recognizable across the room.
They were brilliantly done.
Thanks.
Brilliant.
And there's
Thanks, Dave.
Snapping the Mile said he liked the story as well. And Tim thought it was really cool.
Oh, thanks, you guys.
Sorry, my mouse is not working, so I'm using touchscreen. So here we go. Let's
You're
see.
okay.
I can make this work. Okay, now. No. All right. Yay, mouse. There we go.
There we go.
It freed up. Wow.
Oh, Aubrey and Ryan's.
Yep. Temple of Gold. Here we go.
This was so well done.
That was so gorgeous.
And I actually, when we got done with our build and I saw this one, I was like, I don't even know how, like, I literally looked at Kelly and I'm like, I don't know how they put in so much texture and still got their structure up. I didn't know. My mind was blown by that.
Yeah, that's really just the rock work, and then the plants thrown in there, and then like the clean lines of the temple itself, and then around the base where the island meets the water. Like, it's every part of it is just really, really beautiful to look at.
Yeah, I would say the silhouette of the actual structure itself and how, kind of flares at the top before narrowing again. I mean, it just, aesthetically, it's
very well done.
Yeah.
I agree with Jordan. I also thought this could have been in the top 2 as well.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
That was what was so hard. I think there were 4 builds that were really up there that could have been top 2, and ultimately it comes down to what the judges wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's. Yeah, and I think one of the things is, if a judge says something, you better take it into consideration and do it. Otherwise, I think that's. Because I've seen that on before, especially with New Zealand. Robin was very much like that.
See, I think Jordan, what he's saying, he said, and they showed how to make a non-volcano work as a volcano. Because technically, this is a temple built inside of a volcano, just like Jordan's was. So it's hard to know what the judges are looking for. And Gucci Aubrey did that. Good job, Gucci Aubrey. That's cute.
And then their lava flow coming out.
Look how good that looks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they had their stuff like stuffed with spiders and gold and all these things that came down.
Yeah,
And it was
I love
actually
that.
really cool. At the end on their bridge like had some gold dangling that the people were like trying to reach. It was really cool, and their story was fantastic. So
Yeah.
No,
like look at even just from right here, you see the details in there in the sidewall, just those like little triangle details. Those are, you know, a inverted slope and a regular slope on top of each other that are just giving that little tiny fantastical
little
detail.
little texture. Yeah, I see that.
I think after seeing this one, I said, Kelly, we gotta bring a little more detail and texture, and I think we do in our next build. So
that's good. You get inspired by your fellow builders.
Yeah, we definitely do.
All right, this is Christopher and Robert's Jungle Bastion of the Sun.
Yeah, this one. Emilee, do you remember Christopher and Robert were right across from us, and we were just watching how fast they got their volcano up. Do you remember how big and fast it was? And we were just like, how did they do that?
I actually walked over to their table and I was like, what's your internal structure? And Rob was actually building the volcano at that time, and he's like, I'm just going for it, man. And I was like, I'm like, I spent so much time trying to get those clouds to be off to the side using Technic and make sure our volcano. What I didn't want was our volcano to erupt and just fall apart.
Right.
I was so in fear of that like the eruption would, like, if it was hollow, like that was a fear of mine for Allison and Melanie's, that the volcano was going to erupt and it was just going to crumble underneath because it had no. And so I was so worried about internal structure. Overall, I should have scratched the internal structure and built it differently, but you learn.
Mm-hmm.
But this was amazing. The nod to Bionicle. I actually don't know how Bionicle made it in here based off of it's a licensed theme, but I still think it's like the Bionicle mask, the two Bionicle little guys that twisted when the lava came down. Oh, he couldn't ever say Bionicle. He said something different.
Yeah,
funny.
Christopher has a lot of words for things that are too big for me to understand.
There are volcanoes that explode when they erupt.
I'm sure there are, but I didn't want mine to be like that on the show.
They had the other thing I noticed, the flame. Their mouth was so wide, you saw the flame come out through the.
It was amazing, and so we all had pipes. And they obviously built that whole black section is above their pipe. There is no way, because like we all had pipes we had to go off of, and they didn't want to see the pipe, obviously, because that gives away the, And so that black section at the top and the mask, they had to do it. That's why it took so long, because it had to go up, and then it had to go into a pool, and then it came out the mouth.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Is that why because they had a delay, it seemed like. So that's what it went into the pool before.
So it was pulling up, like the lava wasn't actually coming out the top. It was pulling up, kind of like Tim and Tim's, but in a little different way. Lava was pulling, and then it seeped out the mouth. It was really well done. Yeah. I mean, look at the Bionicle masks all over it. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great.
Bionicle's fans do rejoice. I know that they just love this so much. So I'm happy for them. Also easily a top 2 build as well.
Yeah. All right. Penguin Island with Nina and Sam. It's interesting because all the shots they had were all on this backside. And my first thought was like, wow, this is a big gray thing. But I couldn't see the front. So the back sometimes doesn't matter, depending on the build.
Right.
Actually, funny enough, the back did matter on this. We had probably majority of our teams building facade islands, and they were like, these are volcanic islands. They need to be viewed from 360. So a lot of us had to then round out our backside. Well, I mean, I do that with squats, but we'd had to use bricks on it,
Yeah.
So this was the other team who didn't get what they originally wanted. They wanted clouds and they got Arctic. So they had to kind of come up with a different idea too. But I love their idea with the penguins. And I was surprised they didn't use more white for it being an Arctic. Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of snow. Like I see the snow, and the volcano is just massive, which is impressive to get that up. But But yeah, I expected them to have more white because I mean, originally what Emilee and I were thinking when we did Arctic, that's what we were thinking. So I was surprised not to see it, but it was a cute idea they have with the coaster too.
And ultimately, the roller coaster, we actually saw it on accident work one time, and then when it went to the real time, it flew off. But on accident, when they set it up there, right when we all got to set our place, the coaster did go down. But you know, coasters are finicky. They're hard to make them do what exactly they need. And then, as you can see, the lava just every crack and every little tiny crack, it's just going to seep down in there. So if you don't have enough of it to make it all the way down to spin that wheel, then so theirs did seep right down that back of their. It never made it past this second turn right here, unfortunately.
Yeah, and this might have been a case of not really understanding how fast it was going to be flowing, because if it was flowing fast enough, they might have been thinking that it would kind of skip over some of those cracks going, so that could have factored in too.
Or if it was like a thicker lava, it would have, you know, ran, but because it was thinner, it just ran right down that side. It was really hard to watch this moment.
Yeah.
Did they have
it was.
And as far as pieces in the brick pit, did they have slides that could make that turn a little bit easier? Because it seemed that they were kind of, you know, working against physics, right? By putting in those hard angles.
Yeah, I definitely think they took a big risk right here doing it, but ultimately it's how they wanted it to look. And
yeah.
Why don't,
because a slide would have solved this problem.
I can't remember. They must not have had slides. Do you remember slides? I don't remember.
I don't remember if they had like actual Lego slides. I don't. Yeah. I want to say yes, but maybe not enough to make it all the way down to the bottom.
Right.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tim and Tim, I think they put it, and then they put the other level below it, so it would just pour off and keep going down. And you
they would have had like a little lip to kind of fall onto. It would have instead of a crack. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So Lewis says that I don't remember slides. So that would have been a nice addition, right, for this challenge.
Yeah.
In retrospect, we all would have overlapped joints instead of butting the edges. Yeah. That's actually a takeaway, right? That if you're going to do any kind of slime build in the future, make sure
for your next slime build.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Legend of the Arctic Island. This is Paul and Nelita. Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
So Atlanta Brick Co. does have those tentacles, all of them, and their dragon as well, which is super cool.
Are you
Paul and Nelita, they were worried about their build, but their lava, it brought its A game, and the lava really enhanced their build overall. They were worried. I think Paul would say the same thing, so I'm not in fear of saying that they were worried that it wasn't up to par of what they wanted it to be. But I mean, once that lava came down with that stark red against the white contrast, and their stuff all moved perfectly, and those tentacles with the ball joints, that's super cool looking.
Yeah,
and I like the little simple skyline that they had.
A zip liner, really
zip
fun.
Liner, thank you. Yeah, that little person just pushed right
up.
And then as you can see, that little yellow thing flipped, and it like kind of moved their dragon out just a little bit from the gate.
And I agree, Jordan. The color contrast was a showstopper, definitely.
And they were the only one to do a white volcano, which also I think played to their
which sometimes to your earlier point, why didn't the other team do the white volcano for Arctic?
For Arctic, because
I think you get stuck in your zone, and it's hard to get out of your zone once you're in that.
Right. Or it could be they didn't have enough bricks in the brick pit too.
They have plenty of 2x4 white bricks.
We got that comment from Mike and Brad. The reason why they had to pivot so many times is that they had to take I think several different ideas, but they didn't have enough bricks in the brick pit, so they couldn't do that.
I mean, there are 5 million bricks in the brick pit, and the number one quantity is 2x4 bricks. So if you want a certain color in 2x4 brick, you're gonna find it.
Yeah, stock them pretty often too. So if it's running low because another team is using a lot of the same color, and you just ask, they run and go get more as soon as they can.
The hard thing is, as episodes go on, you might run out of things because they keep the builds
Yeah.
together for a couple episodes in. So like if someone uses all the flex tubes in one episode, then we are short flex tubes.
True.
Until they can figure that out.
That's what happened in the rodeo episode for episode 3 that Aaron and why can't I think of her name?
Liz.
Aaron and Liz. Thank you. Aaron and Liz took all the capes for the fringe for that cowgirl that they did. And nobody else could use capes because of that. And then Jordan has a comment. To be fair, if you look at Icelandic volcanoes, they don't really have snow-covered ones. The heat melts the snow.
Yeah, there you go. That's true.
That's an engineer for you.
But they might still be white, Jordan. Get out of here.
Realism versus artistic license. True. And hey, Johnny G, welcome to the stream. Woo! Legos. Actually, no S.
Oh, yeah, Lego. Yeah. All right. And as we know, they had the top 2 teams. And that was Poppy and Ben and Christopher and Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And there can be only one. And that was Poppy and Ben.
Yeah.
That's so cute of Poppy. I could die.
No, that was great. That was very deserving. They were so excited, and we were all really excited for them. That was a fun moment.
Yeah.
They are very sweet.
They are very, very cute together. The suspenders really do it, right?
Poppy was just as distracted as me in the building episodes. We would walk around. You didn't know where Poppy was. He would help you clean up your table. I was always like, Poppy, go back to your station. And Ben would be like, keep him for a few minutes.
So there's a question from the chat. Is it new about the Atlantic Brick Company having the builds? Because I thought in the earlier seasons they dismantled the builds right after each episode.
Nope, they'd never dismantle. You got to keep them at least to get all the beauty shots they need to get, all the extra side behind the scenes stuff that they need to do. And then they start dismantling. But on top of dismantling, this brick pit team is also filling all the ones where we got 1,000 clips that we thought we needed, but then we don't, and we just had to put them back, and then they have to sort through all this stuff. Like, I thought the brick pit stackers were unbelievable, and I adore and applaud every single one of them.
The unsung heroes of the show.
100. The behind the scenes stuff is absolutely where my heart goes. Is the makeup, the hair, wardrobe, all those people, the brick pit, the challenge team, like they were the rock stars for me. Camera crew, I love them. So
they work so hard too, because they have to follow you wherever you go, and then they're looking for the drama in case somebody's having a meltdown somewhere, so they have to like a heat-seeking missile going after that. Makura has an interesting comment too, that that would be too literal, Jordan. Have fun and think outside the box. Be playful, except make a volcano. I texted innovation. Yeah, they would have gotten the innovation award, right? But
Jordan. I texted Jordan once and said, "Why couldn't you have just built a volcano?" And he's like, "I know." So.
It just had to be a volcano. That should be a T-shirt, right?
And then on the back it can say "Build like Bartlett."
You just had to build a volcano.
Oh man!
Or an acceptable temple.
They're being sassy up in that chat tonight.
It's a sassy chat. Brick pit stalkers, not stalkers. Just to be clear.
Yes, I loved makeup crew. I love them. They made me look so beautiful.
And Emily spent so much time with makeup that they became like family.
Yeah.
Also a hairstylist and makeup artist in my past life, so we had a lot in common to talk about.
Nice.
So I had a lot of fun with them. You should have.
Yeah, you miss them too. Tim's Brick Adventures. Well, I think too, it all depends on what image they want of you, because it's it's too bad Amy's not here because they really, our joke is, we are here to frump you up.
Yeah.
Because she does not look anything like what they made her into.
No, she
And
does
Amy
not.
is a beautiful triathlete.
I know, she's gorgeous. And they made her into a frumpy little granny. And both Karen and Amy said they don't wear sweaters, right? They put that in the chat.
I mean, I probably wore a sweater more than they did. My black sweater came with me everywhere. So I love a good sweater.
You should have brought a squirrel. Uh-oh. Okay, there's an inside joke there.
No. He means like you should have bought a squirrel.
Oh.
He's making a joke.
Distraction.
He's so funny.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, this is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
You're gonna do this to me, PT, right now?
It is a competition, and so yes, our bottom two teams.
Yeah.
And, I would say that, and I think it was the comment someone made that, it was the first time because in the bottom you have to give up that golden brick.
Mm-hmm.
And so Sam ended up giving that up and giving it back. And then, of course, we already
mentioned. They could have been safe. It's like,
I know.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? When I'm used to someone holding on to the brick, and that golden brick for like 3, episodes.
Well, that's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah. But you just kind of misjudged the competition. So
that must be so hard. I mean, we all felt for him in that moment, having to go give it back in because it's so coveted and they were so excited to get it in the first place and then to not use it. And I mean, that must have been so devastating.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, someone was telling me that you've got to win or at least be safe in every round, regardless if you've won, 3 or 4 of the competitions, you could be out the next
right.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. And with that,
well, like Nick and Stacy were in the bottom 4 times, and then they won the whole thing. So
yeah.
Right. I was just going to say either that, or if you look at Greg and Brendan, they won so many challenges, and then it was that one challenge, the fountain challenge, and then that was it.
Yeah,
they're gone. It's just
you don't know
if you miscalculate mechanisms, and it kind of is a parallel to what happened with Jordan and Chris, right? Because their snake pop-up mechanism didn't come up.
Yeah.
No, bye guys. It's so sad.
That's so hard. Aw.
Yeah. Wow. So what's next on the horizon? I guess do we have a little bit of time to talk about Kelly and your journey to Billund?
Yeah, that was so
we always have time to talk about Kelly and her journey.
Well, we want to be mindful of your time. We're already at an hour and a half, so we don't want to
I want to be mindful of your time too, so we don't need to go into it. But yeah, it was an amazing experience overall, just so humbling, I think, to be there, and just the builders I got to meet and exhibit with in the Masterpiece Gallery. It was really overwhelming. It was just a huge honor. So it was amazing. And then we stayed there for the AFOL day, which was the next day. And, I got to talk to so many people. And then I stayed for Scareback that weekend. And it was just a whole great experience of worldwide Lego, fans. And I sat, so at Scareback too, I sat on a panel with LEGOMasters from around the world, like other countries. And so I got to meet the contestants from Australia and Sweden and Denmark, and it was just meeting everyone was just kind of the highlight.
It's a big international family, right?
Yeah.
And also just to be recognized for your work. And the other one that you posted on Instagram that was really touching is, I think Jordan Paxton took you into the internal gallery to show your butterflies going off the frame.
Yes, and I had not seen those. So I sent them to the headquarters 3 years ago, and I kept asking for a picture. I'm like, if these are up, I'd love to see them, because I didn't know that I would ever go to Billund, and I definitely couldn't get into Lego headquarters. I'm like, can someone just send me a picture? And no one could respond. No one could even really say where they were. So I was like, okay, I just might never see these. And then he got me in, and he was on it too. Because I showed him a picture on my phone. I'm like, I'm looking for these. This is my piece. I would love to be able to see it. Right away, he was like, Yeah, I know where that is. And so he set up a meeting and got to get me in there, and that was the highlight of the trip too.
Yeah,
that just meant a lot.
And that must be like in the super secret area.
It wasn't
She
secret
sent me a
too.
picture, and I was crying when I saw
I
know it's one of your earlier works too that you showed.
Yes.
And I think it just shows that, you know, you just got into the hobby again after being in the dark age for a while with your brother, and then all of a sudden you like blossomed, right? And even Boone has mentioned you on several occasions about how, you know, he predicted that you were going to be a rising star. So
he was the one who got me into mock building, because I mean, I took his class to learn how to make simple mocks. That was why, I mean, that's how I started. I was like, okay. And so I mean, he gave me the encouragement I needed. And then once I was done with his class, I was like, okay, I'll just try something on my own. One little thing. And then one thing led to another thing. And then they got bigger. And then like, it just clicked for me. I'm like, this is art. Like, I love art. So I just have had so much fun with it.
And Brick Journal also did a feature on you as well. And it's just inspiring, both of you, to see you really shining on this stage, and really looking forward to seeing what you have next coming up in the episodes. But what else do you have next planned for your outside of LEGO Masters?
Well, I've been getting some commissions, and even more commissions now that the show is out, and I had a few before that, but now it's like it's picking up a little bit. So I have some projects that I'm very excited about, and it's nice to make a little extra money too. So people have said, well, do you think you would not like doing commissions, because it's like you don't get to build for yourself, you have to build for someone else? I'm like, nope. I just really like building. I'll build anything.
Paid to be an artist. How cool is that?
Yeah.
So, and she deserves it. I'm like, send her all the commissions. She is fantastic.
It's so fun. It's like, it's so fun. And Emily, are you doing more with your tray? Is probably taking off too.
My tray is getting another thing, and hopefully going to be in plastic to then be more accessible to the masses.
Can we still get a wooden one? Because I missed the first.
The wooden ones are still available, yes, but hopefully we can get them into plastic
go get one.
into stores. And I'm currently working on a mock for brick slopes next year. I know it's a long ways away, but I want it to be amazing, because #build like Bartlett.
That's what Bartlett does. You got to start a year early if you want to
build like Bartlett.
Yeah, make something good.
Kelly plans her builds a year in advance.
I know.
And if
sometimes you have to. I mean, Bricks Cascade, which is Kelly and I and PT go to Bricks Cascade all the time. That it's around the corner now. I mean, it's already October, and they just released the registration for that. So in fact, you missed
already registered.
I know, and the early deadline is already passed. Like the early bird deadline is done. Like you can't. So I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get going.
You better get going on the mocks. Exactly.
I'm so stressed now.
You should come to Bricks Cascade, Emily.
Yes, you should.
We'd love to have you up here.
I have so many ones that I need to go to. I have 2 that are guaranteed this year, which are Brick Slopes and Brick World Chicago. Other than that, I have no guarantees that I'm going to.
Well, I committed to Brick World Chicago. Some of my followers, Debo, I think, is still here. Debo was one of them, and he actually convinced me kind of in the opposite way, is that I really wanted to go to see New Hashima, because that was an amazing mock in and of itself. But he said it'll probably be better if New Hashima isn't there, because then it won't like take up so much attention, right? From the
I'll just have New Hashima 2.0.
Right. Well, we still have some chat. I wanted to make sure we acknowledge the chat too, that there's some interesting banter about the top teams. So he said
it was the top 2 teams to the
bottom 2 teams. And then Lewis was saying, I mean, I wasn't
Lewis
too upset about it.
He meant he's not upset about Jordan and Chris leaving. He meant he's not upset about right there, the golden brick.
His follow-up comment was, to be clear, I was upset about Jordan and Chris, not upset about Nina and Sam losing the golden brick. Yeah.
I mean, we all want that golden brick, so it's back in play now, and we're all.
It's like, hey, it's up for grabs now. Right. And of course, Lewis is ruthless over here. So what about you, PT? What do you have going on? What's coming up next?
I just needed to say Glenn was pimping the brick rodeo since we were talking about
Tim also pimps Brick Rodeo very hard in our group chat as well.
This year, they're going to have 4th of July celebration on the day one, which could be cool with a lot of, it's on 4th of July. It starts 4th of July for.
If I go to Brick Rodeo, I'd have to bring my whole family because the 4th of July is like a big thing.
You should.
Yeah.
My gosh, Naomi, like I can't do everything.
I don't know. I've only committed to 3. I really want to do Brick Can though, because I missed Brick Can last year.
Kelly's only committed to 2 as well because I've been forcing her to come to Brick Slopes and Brick World Chicago.
I'm trying to get to all of them this year because I would like to experience them all at least once. And there's some that I've never been to. Brick's Cascade is for sure because I live here.
That's your home. That's your home convention. Yeah.
Brick World Chicago was very fun last year. I think they do a really good job. I would love to go back to that one. And then I've never been to Brick Slopes. I've never been to Brick Rodeo, and it's on my list to get there this year. So this might be the year that I try to hit all the conventions.
And I'll go wherever Kelly tells me I can go.
Yeah.
Well, then you're coming to Brick's Cascade.
Yes, come here.
Yeah, and Moctura wants to go too. Love to go back, definitely. Come back. Well, so PT, you're going to be at Brick's Cascade? Did you commit to any others?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you commit to any others? Yeah, sorry, the echo in the bathroom is not conducive for my audio.
No, I haven't committed anything else yet. I'd like to go to Brick Slopes. I was supposed to go this year, but something came in the way and I had to cancel out. Although they sent me my swag, which was cool. But yeah. Going to rodeo. Yeah, and I would like to go to rodeo and see meet up with some other friends out there. But no, I haven't committed anything other than Cascades. The only one.
So if you want to see PT, you better go to Cascades, Emilee.
Or just tune in to Brickanista Broadcast Network every Tuesday.
Well, you get to see you visually and interact with you, but it's not the same as being in person and seeing his mocks. If you haven't seen PT's mocks, they are absolutely incredible. He's won several awards in Micropolis.
I'm a micro kind of guy.
He's a genius when it comes to Micropolis builds. Yeah. But thank you again, everybody.
It's still impressive, PT, man. It's just as impressive.
So if people want to follow Emilee, you can follow her at Emilee_builds it on Instagram. You also have Kelly Bartlett at Kelly Bartlett 31 on Instagram as well.
Is she frozen or did she fall asleep?
Oh no, is she frozen? Okay, it was just for
she's back.
Second.
I'm back. That was weird.
I was worried about
also.
all
went away for a second. I'm good.
I'm in a new apartment and I had fiber in my last place and now I don't. So I'm like, I was nervous whether or not this was going to go, but thankfully I knew PT was going to be here, so I'm back up.
It's been great.
Speaking of PT, p.t.mckeown on Instagram as well. And thank you, everybody. You're listening to the Brickanista Broadcast Network here on YouTube and on Rumble. Please like and subscribe to the stream. We were up to like 429. It would be great to get to 500 if you can. And if you want to send snail mail, you can send it to P.O. Box 87232, Vancouver, Washington, 98687. And any closing remarks that you might have, Emilee or Kelly, about LEGOMasters and the LEGO community as a whole?
I mean, it's just been amazing to be a part of it in general, just getting to know everyone at the conventions. And now to do LEGOMasters, I feel like I get to know so many more people. So even like on these broadcasts and at conventions and everywhere, it's just so great to meet everyone who is in the LEGO community and supporting us and cheering for us. Go Team Pink. It's been great.
She said it. She can have the last word.
Mm-hmm. And also from the chat, thank you, chat, by the way, for participating with us. And yeah, micro travels well, at least. Definitely. You have to see PT's Micropolis builds.
Although they do break apart like anything. Those baggage handlers aren't the best. So.
They're not. Kelly does have a sleep timer.
And
All
thank
right.
you, Chris. Awesome episode. Yeah, keep tuning in. You know, we're going to be interviewing more of the contestants, the ones who replied back. This is optional. These people don't have to be here. It's not a requirement, but we appreciate you both so much. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, chat. Thank you, PT. Thank you, everybody. And as they say on the Brick-and-Easter Broadcast Network, thank you so much. And may the clutch be with you. Take care, everybody.
Yay.
Bye.
Go. All right.